There was a time when evolution took generations, measured in lifetimes, in bloodlines, in slow and patient change. But that time is over. In a world rebuilt by design, where flesh can be rewritten and consciousness recompiled, evolution is no longer discovered. It is decided. Tonight, we observe a man who has already died once, now forced to endure what comes after becoming something more or something less. Welcome to Post-Fall.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Post-Fall, episode 20. My name is Dirk. I am the writer, and my wife and best friend, Kathy, is going to help me out for the 20th time.
Hello, 20 times, dang.
Yeah, this is going by so fast, much like
Actually,
life does.
oh, yeah, you're right. Oh,
I had a
depressing.
coworker retired today after almost 40 years on the job, and it just flies by.
It does. We've been married almost 4 now. Okay. Well, kind of.
Together almost
Still,
40, yeah.
it's crazy.
Anyhow, episode 20, we are at, episode 20, we are in the second series of 10 pages of book 3, which means we're working toward the finale of the original trilogy. This was an interesting week, and by interesting, I usually mean difficult. And by difficult, I mean imagery wasn't coming out the way I wanted, or in this case, what it was, I was trying to make a prompt Bible where I would store the prompts that Luna/ChatGPT could provide me for a good resulting image. I guess I'll show you an example of this.
Yeah, because I don't.
All right. So I'm not sure how to zoom in on OneNote. Anyway, you get the idea though. Like, this was the image we got to, and I was excited because it took me quite a while to get this image, which is weird. But anyway, and then I say, hey, give me the prompt for that. So I thought, I'm going to start saving these prompts. So if I want to get this exact image, I go back in the chat, I copy and paste the prompt in.
Didn't work?
It did not work.
Why?
Why? It seems to be a couple things like this may not be the real prompt that made it to the image generator.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's confusing since you asked it to give you the exact prompt, but cool.
Yeah, it admits that it embellishes the prompt after it shows me what the prompt is. It then changes things as it goes to the image maker. I don't quite understand all of it.
So can you be more specific when you ask for it? Say, show me the prompt for exactly what you just gave.
That was the export of the master prompt for that image.
Oh,
It can't do it. Every image is basically unique, and you could try to use a prompt that gets you started, but when I put that prompt back in the next day to work on it, it was at least 3 major things that were different about it.
I feel like that is like the one main thing that should be happening on save or on when it's completed, that it keeps that. I mean, what's the point if it keeps going away every time you make it? You can't refer back to it and use it.
We are still in the infancy of AI for general usage, and while I am with you, I don't understand several things about what AI cannot do, like things that I would think are common sense, and why aren't they in there? I can't explain it. It's going to be several years, as I expect, before it's really where you and I would want this to be. But either way, I did get some images. Let's take a look at what we got for episode 20 here. As always, as we begin looking at imagery for the week, we are here making Post-Fall an original 6-film franchise. I typically describe that as Blade Runner meets the R-rated version of Narnia, with a little bit of Akira mixed in. We are in year 1, roughly a third the way through it, of my estimated 10-year full release schedule. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any other fan inquiries you don't wish to leave in public, you're welcome to email me at postfall@yahoo.com. And if you're in the film business trying to get a hold of me, please use #4 postfall@gmail.com.
Are we accepting good and bad comments?
I don't mind good and bad comments. I mean, I am pretty good at taking constructive criticism. In fact, we're going to talk about that. Well, I think I mentioned it last week, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
All right, to remind you with the final image from last week, which was the opening of book 3, the attack by Mr. Lansing's 3 helicopters on the befallen spaceship Deliverance and our heroes Pachuco and the Piranha. This is an image showing Counting Coup chasing after the helicopter returning to Spokane as it carries an unarmed Pachuco who volunteered to go speak with the leader of Spokane, Mr. Lansing. He's
And
trying
he
to...
has his son, right?
Yeah, Counting Coup is carrying Maria. What I did not want to deal with last week was trying to work in hologram Terran and hologram Luna. So I thought we should at least show them really quick because I also ignored Kane taking Pachuco's motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
Which
I know
comes
that.
up later on in a few, probably 5 episodes from now.
I know that's very significant.
So here's a look at Kane, who I worked on trying to improve his appearance a little bit. And again, I can't get it locked down very well, but he looks good there while he's trying to figure out the motorcycle. The motorcycle is not high-tech enough for my satisfaction as concept art, but just accept that it is from the moon.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it just looks like a modern-day motorcycle or from 1995 here.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, Terran and Lunar out
It
there.
won't look like that in, 100 years.
It won't look
Still.
like that. It won't look like
It
that
won't.
when I get to book 5, when we actually get back to the moon and show Pachuco riding around on it.
Okay.
Anyhow, Kane.
Wait. Question.
Sure.
So when you do these pictures, and obviously you just stated that you do it and you can never get it back exactly the same way, and I'm sure you've done this, but what happens if you save the picture, put it back in there and say add a bow to his hair? Is it going to change the whole picture completely too with a bow?
Well,
Or is it
what I learned this week was from failing with that prompt Bible. I asked ChatGPT, does it prefer a well-developed prompt or an image? And it says it works better off of an image.
Yeah, okay.
So I would give it this cane. It would see what
Yeah.
this cane looks like. It does some strange things I don't ever like what's on his back right here. I got no idea what's on his back.
Yeah, I don't know.
Overall, it's good looking though. So I would use a snip of this image as my next prompt for Kane. And then what I kind of figured out is to slow down and do what would be called an iterative
I don't even
constraint.
know. That doesn't sound right
refinement.
anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is slow down on your image building. If there's something you don't like about it, don't tell it 10 things at once you don't like about it. Tell it one thing you don't like about it. I've learned
But
a few
it
things.
slow you
this week.
down in the long run, obviously.
I did. What cost me this week with the time lost was images. Like I was pushing maybe 25 to 30 images on an episode, but this week I've got like 18, I think. But I still think I learned some things, and I did have another good thing happen this week, which we'll talk about in a minute. Now, what I could not get Kane to do, besides keep his lips from looking very strange there, is when Terran questions why Kane wants to know how the motorcycle works, Kane's not in the mood, and he picks up the hologram projecting disc and throws it against the ship.
Oh.
The best I could get is him using the hologram disc after it is shrunken into hand size and it begins to suck Terran into it, which is not what happens in the movie.
Oh, that's
But
weird.
just imagine Kane is pissed off, tell him how to work the motorcycle.
Doesn't affect Terran at all, though,
No.
except being thrown somewhere. I don't know.
So the point is, I wanted to show you that Kane does head towards Spokane behind Counting Coup and Pachuco.
And you see what's on his back. There you go. Now you know.
Well, he has a suicide vest, which we can't really show sticks of dynamite, and they're not on his back. And this is a reminder image of Pachuco with Spirit in the helicopter. And then I just wanted to connect that image with what we're going to see next, which is going to be Pachuco flying over slave fields, wheat fields being harvested by slaves and overseers.
Oh, who are the overseers?
There would be a mix of man and wolfmen, wolf women.
Oh, so the wolves are mean.
That's actually an interesting question. Are they mean?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, the reason I say that is because of a conversation you're going to hear coming up here in a minute.
Okay.
This is a man working as a slave in the wheat fields watching the helicopter go by. And because I am totally spoiler alerting everything, and some people would criticize me like, why don't you keep some secrets? And my answer is, this is a 10-year project in my mind. I don't want to try to know which secrets I've kept and which I haven't. I tell you everything up front. This is young Genesis, the little girl on the poster. This is her father, James.
I never knew that. I didn't know any. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a father in the picture.
In book 6, which is the Piranha's solo story, basically, her background, you'll see James a little bit. He ends up being conscripted to come work the wheat fields, which is not a slavery, but he gets himself enslaved while he's gone during the pregnancy, basically.
Okay.
Sometimes these videos aren't great, and you'd think, well, that's not very interesting, but that would be a scene in the movie that James would look up and watch the helicopter go by. And then in the movie, he would see him get lashed for that.
Okay. Well, so wolves are mean. Just saying.
Now, this image is proving to be the most difficult image I've ever tried to
I
generate.
This is your amphitheater, huh?
Yeah, we're getting to the outdoor amphitheater. It's almost working, but there's so many things about it. There's basically the background, which is going to be the post-apocalyptic Spokane, and then the mid background would be basically a parking lot, which is where tanks, helicopters, trucks, whatever resources Mr. Lansing maintains.
Okay.
And then in the mid foreground, center foreground would be the amphitheater structure. But this structure should really be sitting here. This stage is about right for this stage. So pick this building up and put it down here.
Yeah.
I can't quite get it there yet. The gorge makes sense. This width of gorge does not, because Counting Coup, as you might see from watching that storyboard video, has to leap across this. So we got to get that narrower eventually. And then the foreground of the audience grounds, basically, for the outdoor amphitheater, which at one point would have been manicured green lawns for people to come and watch plays and concerts. Now it's just a hovel of tents and wolfmen and slaves, basically. But this is an interesting image. It's not quite right, but we're going to get there. The fact of the matter is, Pachuco's in this location for about the next 5 episodes.
He has glasses on.
Don't notice the small things I can't take
sorry.
time to fix.
I swear, it just popped out.
Yeah,
I looked up.
I heard that too. What I think is, if I keep getting slowed down because of this location, at least I'll have time over the next 5 episodes to get it nailed down, hopefully. They land out there in the parking lot area behind the amphitheater structure. He gets a first look at what would be a city for him. He hasn't really been on Earth very much, and this is his first post-apocalyptic city as Spirit tries to lead him away from this.
Are you going to have like a... Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. What are you going to ask?
A legend of like characters.
Well,
Do you have
I do need to work on the website soon, so sure, remind me to put a legend of characters on the website.
Yeah, so that you could keep it like up to date, because you've just introduced, each time you introduce new characters, you can put them on the legend.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Speak up and remind me next week when we're going to start working on that, I think.
Okay.
Then Spirit, here he is, leading him toward the building's front door.
Is it going to be that, like, war-torn-ish, like?
It would be probably this dirty, this muddy. It's going to be somewhat militant because he is still a leader, and so it would be, of course, like the guerrillas are literal guerrillas trying to attack him. So to some degree, yeah. Inside the building, there is some attempt to have government offices. They do try to have whatever commerce that they're involved in and whatever treaties they have with other surrounding regions.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's not terrible. I'm happy to see the inside of this building here. And then it leads to the stage, which is essentially the problem I was having for most of this week trying to get this to work out. It doesn't look like it should be that complex, but it took me a long time to get this good of an image out of it.
And did you say put that dead tree and pile of weeds in there?
Well, the pile of weeds is supposed to be a pile of buffalo skins, and yes, I did.
Okay.
Why did I put a log down here? I think I literally put that as a piece of furniture for the creature that is hiding underneath the pile of leaves, which isn't a surprise because you watch the storyboard, you'll see Bison is down here.
Yeah.
So Bison is under the pile there. I got lucky with the white sheep behind the back wall there, that's where they would display movies, so they can have like movie nights. The balconies are not quite right yet, but we'll work on that. The stage doors aren't quite right, but again, it's not terrible. It has the 3 chairs from my screenplay, and it has the personal items in the back that he's collected that are either interesting or of value.
Oh, yeah. It's clearer that way.
This would be a slightly pulled back image, just trying to incrementally come back and show more and more of this whole area. Interesting little rapid time lapse it does on this video.
Yeah.
And then I tried to come back over the gorge, and this was unfortunately the most unnatural looking gorge I've ever seen in my life. But it was the best I could do this week.
Like it's bad.
Overall, this explains what's going on, that the orchestra pit, the actual dirt floor is where the orchestra would have been. And, you know, they were separated by the gorge from the audience. And Pachuco's going to be trapped in here. He can't just walk out left, right, or south. I tried to use the previous image as like move the camera over here to stage left and look to the right, and it can kind of do it, but again, it doesn't really remember the prior image. It has to recreate it. It does a decent job, but you can see the chairs have moved, the log shrunk. There's this strange small things that one day they're going to get fixed in AI.
And somebody could walk up that pile of rocks.
Yeah, I had it down to like, well, the rock pile is one thing, but even the drop from the stage is supposed to be like 6 to 8 feet. And here we see Mr. Lansing, the Wolf King of Washington. This
with a wolf pet?
Yeah, I never define what that natural looking wolf is to him. I do kind of define what that bundle is there. I think in the screenplay it specifically says it could be a female anthropomorphic wolf woman. He basically kept his wife or his spouse wrapped beside him after she passed away.
Oh.
Also, I had written, or otherwise, he has a staff with a blue gem on it, and what I've decided to do with this gem is, Mr. Lansing is not his name. Mr. Lansing was the name of the mayor of Spokane during the rise and fall. And what I've decided to do with that blue gem is that it was one of his trophies, one of his awards for being the mayor of Spokane. So they basically just kept that as the symbol of authority.
Key?
It would not really be rotating. This
Why not?
The gem. I don't know what it is about gems, but generative AI video loves to make things happen with gems.
They look cooler. I don't know.
And here we have his right-hand man, or on his left side at the moment, Spirit. That's a pretty good image. The interior of the stage is not quite right, but it's an attractive looking image for him. And then Pachuco was brought in to meet him. And again, Spirit suggested that someone from the crashed site comes back to explain what's going on to Mr. Lansing, because they did destroy 2 helicopters and damage the 3rd as well.
Okay.
And this is going to lead into, I know you don't care much for my music making off of my dialogue, but I want to show you what I've done and then get your opinion after you watch it.
Okay.
Mr. Lansing will see you now. Thank you, Mr. Beauregard. He is here. Let me have a look at you. Nice view. My realtor thinks so. You're Mr. Lansing? You're the Punisher of Post Falls? And your name is? Pachuco. We're still not positive if you're the one from Post Falls. I've been to Post Falls. You kill anyone while you were there? I kill people just about everywhere I go. You know, I almost let you wait out in the lobby until we heard the outcome. But the idea that you were here made me want to see what all the anxiety has been about the past week. I can see how you irritate people. So what are you? The Wolf King of Washington. I am only Mr. Lansing. Yeah, kind of an odd name for a wolf, ain't it? It's not my name. Your kind can't pronounce my name. It is my title. I am the 14th of my line, beginning with the original Mr. Lansing. Then mayor of Spokane during the fall. People seem to take his name as a sign of leadership. I am only upholding its tradition. I'm guessing the original Mr. Lansing was a man, as were the others after him. And perhaps after me. My kin has simply grown stronger recently, while others have withered or died. Know that when I refer to people, I take into account all creatures of intellect, not merely man. So you're an elected official. We are in fact more like a wolf pack, with alphas, betas, and omegas. Aren't you a little long in the tooth to be leader of the pack? It's not about virility any longer. Not for my subjects. Where once I was feared for being powerful of body, now I'm respected for my wisdom and understanding. Wisdom and understanding. Why is it when you hear wisdom and understanding, you think compassion and kindness, when what they mean is knowledge and necessity? Slavery is a necessity. I wasn't born yet for the worst of it, but it said that starvation and disease killed more people than the rise and fall combined. So when your people abandoned Earth, a new order arose out of necessity. Have you ever eaten a cheeseburger? Sure. Did you ask your food how it felt before you slaughtered it? I thought we were talking about slavery. We're talking about necessity. You eat living things in order for you to stay alive. I enslave living things in order for us to stay alive. Pete, there's a loony like you. And like you, he arrived here confused by our apparent evil. I accept the fact that I didn't come here to convince you your society sucks. So why did you come here?
Pretty good. Because that wasn't like a song.
Yeah, I think what I've learned is from this one to tone down the musicality of these so you can follow the conversation better. I'll still put the musicality into my Echoes of Post-Fall videos because I like to hear that. But for the dialogue within the episodes, it's going to be more like this from now on. And I will work on improving it. Those bubbles we were looking at, the speech bubbles, were kind of goofy looking, but they were the only...
No, I know, but it helps. They were goofy, but I like how it helps. So if you can find something better.
Oh, I already did. I could even show it to you if you want to see it.
What?
A better one.
Yeah, let me see.
I have a second song, basically, we can look at, which has already my first evolution of an improvement for the speech bubbles. What happened is within the editing program Filmora, it only had like one free speech bubble, which was that comic book looking one, which doesn't really fit my storyline.
No.
And then talking to Luna/ChatGPT, I figured out that it can generate speech bubbles. So what we're starting to do now is we're starting to customize speech bubbles per character. So let me show you a little bit of that here.
Okay.
You get...
That goes along the lines of your, when you had it in typed form and fonts, different fonts.
You're actually, yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because that's what I also noticed. Once I saw this in action, I thought, oh, this matches my first draft of Post-Fall where each character had their own font to differentiate themselves from the other characters. Now they're going to have a different looking speech bubble. You ready?
Yes.
Sorry I had to step away. Preparations are taking longer than expected. Preparations for what? Evolution. What are you up to? About 300 exabytes. That's insane. My file size is nowhere near that large. I know, but we've been refactoring you. If you want to enhance me, how about you activate my wireless network? I'm linked dead. We didn't want you to corrupt our work by surfing the web while you waited. I'm afraid your wireless can't connect with anything beyond the range of her workstation. Her equipment is quite encrypted. Whatever you're trying to do to me can be done with my file and engine. Why upload me into this mannequin? Do you feel that? Of course. That is something we cannot determine in engine. So you want to see how I feel about what you're doing to me? You want to know if it hurts? No. We want to know if it kills you. If our programming enhancements damage your file, we wipe this drive and start over with a fresh install. How many times? If you ask me once, you've asked me 100 times, but does it matter? Do you remember any of it? No. But I like knowing the truth. The truth is, this is proving to be as difficult as it should be. Why haven't you fixed your fingers? He asked me that too.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching those. I know you don't care for them too much.
No, but it was different. It wasn't a song that I, listening to on the radio.
No, I will work on the speech bubbles more, and who knows where that will lead me. But yeah, I thought it was a good thing to get going this week, so I look forward to improving that in the weeks ahead. For our viewers, thank you, and if you have time to like, comment, and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Any feedback is helpful. Thank you, everybody. You all take care.
Like and subscribe.
Pain can be measured, so can memory. Even identity can be reduced to code. But there is one variable that refuses to behave. The question is not whether Terran survives the process. It is whether anything of him remains when it's complete. And for those watching from behind glass, the line between observer and executioner has already disappeared. There is no before anymore, only post-fall.
They keep asking the wrong question, not, does it hurt? Not even, does it kill me? The real question is, what counts as me? If you erase something and I don't remember it, was it ever real? If you rebuild me, piece by piece, at what point do I stop being the one who started? They think they're testing limits. They're not. They're proving something far worse. That a man can be rewritten and still be expected to say thank you. And the strangest part? I think I understand why they're doing it. Because if I survive this, then so can they. And if I don't, they'll just try again.